Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Coach Lori Anne, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist, empowering, educating, inspiring, and igniting people to take action with jet propulsion. We assist people to find and embrace their life purpose, live their highest vision, become the best version of themselves, forging a strong foundation to soar to success. For more information, please reach out to us at ldcstrategies.com or CoachLorianne.com. Oh my gosh, I forgot my own thing. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to empower minds, educate hearts, inspire action, and ignite success so you can choose to have a fulfilled, healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Today on our show, we have such an amazing guest, and he's going to light us up with some verbal caffeine with all kinds of possibilities, and you need to listen closely. There's all kinds of yummy stuff coming. He is an amazing individual. It is, of course, my friends, Michael Loftus, who is a writer, an author, a commentator, a stand-up comedian extraordinaire. He has been headlining talent nationwide for more than 20 years and written and produced The George Lopez Show, Charlie Sheen's Anger Management, Kevin James, Kevin Can Wait. And of course, he's a co-executive producer of the Netflix series, The Crew, starring Kevin James, actually. He's a frequent guest on Fox News. See him all the time on Gutfeld. Actually saw him on Gutfeld Live. He is also on Fox Nation. He's currently producing, creating, and starring in the show, which I love, called That Show Tonight. Catch it online. And we're going to talk today about a special thing that he just launched because he is just amazing. Welcome to the show, Michael Loftus. Michael.
I can't follow that intro. I got no verbal caffeine after that. That's like, wow, that guy sounds busy. Who is that idiot?
You're you're not only busy, but you're amazing at what you're putting out there. And I love what you do. And you're so smart. I love when I'm watching you on Gutfeld. Oh my gosh, the stuff was flying at you and you were just turning it around. And that just takes absolute talent. So I totally, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Well, thank you very much. It's a lot of fun. That show is a blast, and it's one of those things where you're confirming something, right? You're like, I bet this is true. I bet if there was a level playing field, and I bet if people of my political persuasion were allowed to participate in show business, I bet it would be wildly popular.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when Greg goes out there and you're able just to crack wise and talk about this stuff, and it's unfiltered and it's uncensored, he's got the most popular show on I think it might be the most popular show on TV right now.
I believe that it is. I believe the ratings have it that way. But here's the other thing. It's smart. It's logical. There's backup to the arguments. You don't just spurt out something with no backup to it. It's like, think about this, and here are the reasons why. And I love that because it makes me think. And actually, the show I saw, there was a conversation about, the law and how it works and things like that. And some of the things, and it was about our freedoms. It was about carrying guns and stuff like that. And I just loved because I'm all about that in groups that I lead. I'm on a couple of boards. When they talk about taking away things, I'm like, hold on, you're setting a precedence. Think about all the different ways that works in the precedent. It sounds good here, but how about the other way? So we got to do a 360 look, and that's what you do, and you're so good at it. But I don't want to talk about that today.
All right.
I want to talk about the brilliant mind of Studio TST. I know you just launched this beautiful studio called Studio TST, and it really is a housing place for That Show Tonight.
Yes.
TST, hint, hint, hint. And so my question to you, Michael, is why? Why you do all these other things? Why take on yet another thing?
Well, it was a wonderful confluence of events. Number one, it was a happy accident, and number two, it's something that's desperately needed. Now, I'll try not to get too long-winded here. I'm a firm believer that politics is downstream from pop culture.
Yes.
Right? You can affect the way a society behaves by the heroes that you show them, the stories that you tell them, the way that they're portrayed. Like a lot. I just found this out. Napoleon wasn't short. He was a regular sized guy, but they just decided they hated him. They hated his ambition. So the historians decided just to, like, you know what? Forever he'll be known as short. And so that it stuck. So watching television get worse, which it is, and just that's not random. There's a method to the madness.
Yes,
All of
sure.
these tearing down of heroes and highlighting this, and we are being steered in a direction. And I don't like being bossed around. I don't think most Americans do. I'm like,
I know
just
I don't.
entertain me. Just all you have to do is entertain me. That's all
Right,
you have to do.
right.
So we were already doing that show tonight. Now, ironically,
Which
for a
is, by the way,
show,
very funny. Oh my God. I
oh, thank you.
split it.
We have tens of millions of views on social media. Those people need to now come to Studio TST and
Yes.
support the other awesome content. So we started doing the show, and as you saw, like, you know, Google and Amazon, and they, you know, there's going to be censorship. They'll just take your website away from you. So we got our own servers. We got all set up. We're like, okay, so no one can unplug us. No one can take us off the internet. We're completely, you know, siloed and safe. So we were very busy doing that show tonight and promoting that, and it was going really well. And then a few months ago, as I kept meeting more and more creative people on the right, the light went off in my head. I'm like, oh, we have the servers, we have the computing space, we could do other shows and invite these other creators. And so that's what we did. We built a whole new website, we increased everything, totally gave everything the makeover. And so now we've got feature films, we've got stand-up comedy specials, we're adding new content all the time. We've got that show tonight. Now we're going down to Nashville and hanging out with John Rich. And John Rich is telling me that he goes, I got all these singer songwriters that nobody knows about. I want America and the world to learn about these guys. And I'm like, okay, so let's do that show too. It's so exciting.
So backing this up a little bit so the
Yeah.
listeners and viewers understand, it's a platform. It's a platform that allows you to go in
Yes.
safely. And the thing I love about it is there's no censorship. It's you're going to be
Right.
able to make a comment. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And that's okay. That's what America's about. That's what our Constitution is about. So
Yes.
it allows us to really go on there and enjoy the movies that we want to enjoy and enjoy the music we want to enjoy without censorship, right? So is that
Yes.
really what the bottom line is that you're
It
offering the
it really is. And coming from the world of television, and before I started writing in television, it seemed to me like I had a sense of like, oh, here's how HBO works. HBO goes, what's the show you want to do? And somebody goes, oh, I want to do a show. It's about dragons and these families. It's kind of like it's almost like a mafia, but okay, here's a pile of money. Go make that show and bring it back. HBO didn't tell the people what, you just give me the best. And that's what they did with the Sopranos. And so I think that's how it used to work.
yeah.
And then as I started writing for ABC and NBC and these other outlets, and then finally with Netflix, the studio executives get involved, and they start giving notes like, oh, we don't want this character to look like this. You should make her more like that. And that's when things get murky and bad. So I want to be, and I am in the position now where I can just go give me the movie that you want to make, and I'll put that on, and we'll let the world decide. I mean,
Yeah.
this is bigger than America. It is a non-woke Netflix. It's a non-woke Amazon. And so it's exciting. I feel like, you know, Steve Jobs building apples in his
Yeah.
garage.
Yeah.
It's definitely the vibe, but it's a wonderful thing. It couldn't be more exciting. And I think that's what America wants. Like, I want to come home. I can go to that show. I can go to Studio TST. We're building the app as we speak. You know, soon, hopefully, it'll just be integrated into the televisions like Netflix and the other apps. And you can just go, I just want to listen to this singer songwriter. And then boom, you can go, I just want to watch this movie. Bang. Or, oh, I want, that show tonight or another comedy special. it's
Right.
just going to keep growing. It's just going to
Is
keep,
it,
it's
is
super
it,
exciting.
is it more pre-done stuff, or is there some live elements to this Studio TST?
Well, right now we're doing live stuff with that show tonight. And the other show that we're going to be working on soon, I want to do like live special events. John Rich has some amazing stuff that he does at the Redneck Riviera,
He's a great
and some big
person.
events there. And I want to cover that. I remember years ago in Los Angeles, and I stumbled across some crazy cable station, and they were covering like this music festival in England, and they just had like cameras set up and they were patched into the soundboard. But I'm like, who is that big? It was awesome. I was like just watching a music festival take place halfway around the world. I want to do stuff like that. I
Yeah,
want to do stuff like that.
that's really cool. So there's a lot of different content on it. So when people come in and join the platform, and they should join the platform, and we'll give you information. It'll be with this episode as well. So you can just come in and join. You're just going to be constantly adding more content, adding more benefits to what people get when they come to your platform.
Right, right. And here's the thing that I loved about it. It's $5 a month. That's it. That's
More
what
from
people were
Big Mac.
subscribing for that show tonight. They're like, oh, that's a bargain. I'll give you $5 and you give me a comedy show. And like as a guy who uses Netflix, I cannot stand the price increases. It drives me bonkers. And I'm like, maybe don't flush so much money down the toilet, and you wouldn't be asking me for money every month. So so when we launched Studio TST, I'm like, we're keeping it at $5. I'm gonna be the Costco hot dog of entertainment.
I love it. Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt. That show tonight, let's just parlay to that, that really what Studio TST was kind of named
Sure.
after. That show tonight, what's the concept behind that show if nobody has seen it before?
Well, it's sketch comedy. It's live sketch comedy and pre-taped stuff, like Monty Python or the Dave Chappelle show with a live host, and there's a live component to the whole thing. And so we've had
That
guest hosts.
reminds me of the I don't mean to throw back, and you guys who have never heard of this, Google it, the Cal Burnett show. It reminded me of that, where it was like little skits, and then you moved on in little skits. And sometimes you
Yeah,
guys do crack up each other, which is
sure.
hysterical.
Yeah. And it's that kind of fun. I started in sketch comedy and then improvisational comedy and stand up and all that stuff. And it's you get jealous. You're like, really? Saturday Night Live is the only people that they're the only ones that get to have fun. And then over the years, watching Saturday Night Live sadly turn into a propaganda machine.
Without a doubt.
It's 99 times out of 100, they're going to do the skit that makes fun of Trump. Every once in a blue moon, they'll take a nice little a soft jab at Biden or Kamala Harris. But for the most part, if you watch Saturday Night Live, you either already are a Democrat or they want you to be a Democrat. And when you start doing comedy for a desired outcome, now it's propaganda.
Yes.
That's what it is. When you make art and you're like, oh, I want to change your mind to this. So when we were doing that show tonight, we're like,
Comedy is smarter when you challenge the people who are listening to you to think and to understand that it may be this, but it may be this. And are you being duped? And I
well,
think that's
I
what I
think
see you guys do a lot of.
I think what you're feeling is it's the wonderful surprise of it,
Yes.
and when you can start, the problem becomes, and this goes for late night too, and like what we're talking about with Gutfeld, all the late night hosts have the same political belief system, and they made no bones about it. So you go, okay, so if that guy's a Democrat and he's telling a joke, you're already writing the punchline. So you're losing a sense of surprise. But if you're sitting there and you're thinking, I don't know where this is going, that's so much comedy comes out of the not knowing. Knock, knock. Who's there? Come on, America.
Seriously, that's called the equation to see a Michael Loftus show, is that you never know what's going to be coming at you and what's coming out of your mouth, which is the
Yes.
I want to get in your brain. Well, I'm a little afraid to get in your brain to find out, like, how does it work? How do you come? And you really make salient points that you go, oh, I never thought of it that way. You come at different angles, and I love that about it. But you also give people the freedom to make their own decision. You treat them with respect and as though they have a brain in their head, where I'm not seeing that on the boob tube, as my mom used to call TV. Now I understand why she calls it the boob tube, because it's a way to control. It's a
Yes.
way to constantly say the same thing over and over and over again. And what is that? That's a thought that you think over and over again. That's called a belief. A belief
Yes.
is merely a thought you think over and over again. After a while, you don't even know where the thought comes from. You just like, "Ooh, this is what I know." And that's why so many people can't back up why they feel the way they feel, because they have nothing behind it. They just heard it someplace over and over and over again, and it became their reality. That's scary to me. That's so
And,
scary to me. That's why when I went to Gutfeld and when I go to these shows that really make me think, I'm like, yes, this is good. Or no, I don't think that at all. Whatever the case may be, but at least it's making me think and it's exciting.
and it gets exciting when you go, oh, I'm really taking a step back here. I need to look at what's really going on. So many people are, chasing that carrot that's right in front of them or swatting at an imaginary fly. They don't realize if they just took a step back, just take a deep breath, take a step back and go, okay, so why am I feeling this way? What is and so many people, like you were saying, it was wild for me. The first time I found out about this was I was talking to Cheryl Atkinson, who was a journalist over at CBS, and she was talking about baking it in, and how that's a thing with the media. When they want people to believe something, you stay on message, you stay on point, you keep repeating the same catchphrase or word. It's Pavlovian, and
Yes.
then they just bake it in. There's so many people in America right now, and probably globally, who think that Donald Trump was working for the Russians and was a Russian spy back in 2016, because they're busy, they have jobs, they have lives, they're in love, they need to get stuff for dinner. But as they were passing the TV in the airport, they heard the CNN guy go, well, looks bad for Trump and his Russian counterparts as the spy, and it just, you just get it on a subconscious level. And that's really, it's a dangerous thing. It's a
Yeah.
dangerous thing.
Without a doubt. Here's an indicator too. If you channel surf across all different channels, and you hear the same languaging from every single person, give it some thought and
Yes.
then do some research. Because
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, when you do the research, it's not what they're saying. So they have this platform, and I think they're being disrespectful, obviously dishonest, about sending stuff out there that is not truthful. And I really would love to see a campaign of truth in advertising. Matter of fact, I saw this thing. We're gonna talk about it in the second half of the show, about advertising and how advertising follows what society is doing, because they're like, oh, you want this? Okay, we're going to give you this because you like it and I want you to buy my product, so I'm going to give you this. We're going to talk about how they manipulated and how this was the great experiment in advertising that failed miserably, and they're just starting to admit it now, and they're starting to rock back the other way because they noticed that they failed miserably, because that's not what the people who spend the money do. So I always talk about the power of the purchase. What do you feel about that? The power of the purchase. Don't buy it if you don't agree with it. Don't support that company. Don't support that platform if they're not of like mind and you don't agree with that.
I took so much heat for this very thing. I was on Gutfeld and we were talking about the Bud Light fiasco, and Bud Light's stock had gone way down, and they had apologized, and no one liked my response.
Shocking.
Like they say, crash and burn. But I got more on that. I got more on that.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and let's talk more about that and this big thing that the advertising company did where they were testing something out. It was an experiment is what they're calling it now. Yeah, okay. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I am Coach Lori Anne, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist. And if you'd like to be a guest or lift up your business, product, or non-for-profit, or if you have a question or comment, or if you want to send Mike a really love note, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. We are speaking to the wonderful Michael Loftus. You are so funny. I just adore having you on here, and thank you for coming on. We were just talking about in the last segment, we were going into how this big advertising experiment has kind of blown up in their face. And you were mentioning the obvious #1, which was the Bud Light one. So I wanted you to finish your story.
Yeah, so just a quick recap. Bud Light has Dylan Mulvaney, a trans person, selling Bud Light, and the consumers of that product did not like it. So then Bud Light instantly came out this super hyper patriotic. It was very, I thought it was just like
Manipulative? Oh, sorry.
yeah, manipulative and almost mocking their customer.
Yeah.
Oh, we know what you like. You like that red, white, and blue Clydesdale crap. Here you go. So I thought it was demeaning and insulting. So finally, after their stock continues to go down, they do a public apology. They're like, "Oh, we're sorry. We tried something new. It didn't work out." And Greg is like, "So is this it, Michael? Should America move on?" And I said, "No. Like, no. This should be the warning shot for all of corporate America. If you're selling beer, sell beer. Don't sell me a lifestyle." Okay? That's where all this DEI and this equity and all this forced include all of that stuff. It's bad for everybody. So I'm like, I want a smoldering crater where Bud Light used to be. I want other companies to talk about Bud Light like they just saw a ghost. And because it's still coming. John Deere is doing DEI stuff. Harley Davidson is doing DEI stuff. These Black Rocks and the Vanguards and these big companies, someone has a real interest in making big sociological changes to our way of life, like they know better.
Well, think of it this way. If we don't put the best man on the job, then the best work doesn't get done, and then those people don't prosper. But the people making those decisions are up here prospering from the workers here. So it's kind of like a throwback to, I don't know if you've ever seen The Fifth Element, but if you haven't, I encourage you to watch it. If you watch that movie, which is incredibly old, if you watch that movie, they already say what it is that all the worker bees work there. So the few people at the top get to make the money, and they like it that way because they get to benefit. It has nothing to do with them caring for us. They don't care. They don't care what we want. They don't care what we do. They just want to keep us small and low. That's why they keep us fighting with each other, because if we don't band together, then they win. I used to have a director of theater, and he would like push people in and poke them in different directions. And then we would run to daddy to get it fixed, and he would fix it for us, but he caused it. And then suddenly everybody was like, connecting the dots back to him. And then suddenly he couldn't be a fixer anymore because everybody knew he was the one who was causing the problem with purpose so that he could come out as the superhero and fix the problem. And I was like, oh my God, stop it. Just stop it. Let people be who they are. And listen, full disclosure from my perspective, it doesn't matter to me what your lifestyle is. It doesn't matter to me that, whatever you choose, I choose one thing. Let me choose and live my life. You choose and live your life, but don't ram something down my throat.
Unless you choose it.
Unless I choose it. That's right. Keep it clean.
And probably the most important point on The Fifth Element that I don't want, this needs to be said. Mila Jovovich in the bandage dress. That's all I want to say.
I'm saying, even from a woman's perspective, she was hot.
Smoke show. So it's funny, but like what you're talking about, they know with AI and with search engines, you can track terminology and how many times it's used in media, and AI can go through these publications. Remember the Tea Party groups, because they were upset, the budget's out of control, the way you're spending money, blah blah blah, and then simultaneously Occupy Wall Street was happening. So everybody was hyper focused on the money. You're being irresponsible with money. We don't like this. You shouldn't be getting off the hook. And then all of a sudden, racism starts to appear in
Oh,
print, in articles. And the use of racism and articles about racism just went exponentially. And then suddenly the Tea Party was gone and Occupy Wall Street was gone. And all of a sudden it's like, oh no, there's the police are being bad and these guys are being unjustly, and I want to live my lifestyle and you're trying to stop me. It's wild. It's wild to watch. And it's one thing to complain about it and go, okay, so we're complaining. However, people still want to come home and go, if I hear one more thing about politics, I'm going to lose my mind.
yeah.
If I hear one more, important political song, I'm going to lose my mind. So they go to television or they go online thinking they're getting a respite, and they're not. They've just put more cheeseburger around their medicinal woke messaging. And that's why we're doing Studio TST.
Yes.
It's just, you can go and you can enjoy yourself and you're not going to have to worry. It's something that's desperately needed,
Without
and
a doubt.
it's so much fun to create. But just know, and this is where I feel bad for my friends on the left. And it's wild to watch. But I tell you, every week, every week to 10 days, I will get a call from a stand-up comedian or a writer that I used to work with, and they go, dude, I apologize. You were way ahead of the curve. You were way ahead of the curve. And I'm like, no, dude, it's cool. Everybody you can welcome. Maybe we can get you to do something on Studio TST. Apology accepted. These people are going to be furious if they ever realize just how much they've been lied to. And it just happens again and again and again. And now you've got, assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life. And boy, that looks shady as all hell. So we need to keep going. We need to keep waking people up. Just all I'm asking is everybody just take a step back
Yeah.
and analyze the evidence.
In my business, I call it taking a pause. Take a pause, take a breath, and then look at everything. Try to 360 it. Don't just look at it from one
Yeah,
angle. Try to look at it from all different angles. It's like walking around your house. You want to see the front, the middle, the sides, and the back. You just want to walk around the whole thing and then come to
that's
whatever.
how that's how I buy bathing suits.
Do you?
Yeah, I put on that tanga and I walk around the house and I look at it from
Like,
every angle.
because you look at the reflective surfaces in your house.
Yes, yes. And there's strobe lights. It's all very,
Oh, is there music underneath? That calls it, that's like a video. I
yes,
want to see that
yes.
up on Studio TST.
That's the only fans.
I love that. One of the things I miss in comedy is the fact that we are laughing at ourselves. Everybody is so hypersensitive. I love laughing at myself. Listen, I know I'm an Italian woman. I know my family talks at this level. We talk at decibels that people think we're arguing. And the truth of the matter is that's how we talk to each other. We're just talking loud and we're very passionate. And they think we're cray-cray because we're talking the way that we do. I love it when people jab at us. I love it because I know, when you're secure in who you are, nobody can say anything that really bothers you because you're like, yeah, you're right. I am, but I'm okay with it.
Yes,
I'm okay with it.
yes. That's why. That's why Irish people never got mad. They're like, oh, you're calling us a bunch of drunks who like to fist fight? Well, okay, that seems about right.
That checks out.
Yep, the mouth checks out on that one. Now, would you like a drink?
That's right. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, Michael.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph on a bicycle, and Moses in the basket.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So tell us more about Studio TST. So now it's in its beginning stages and it's starting to grow up. What do you want it to look like in 5 years from now?
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here.
No, lie to me. I love it.
The metaphor, the metaphor that I will use is that show tonight was our Wright brothers Kitty Hawk. That was like, okay, we can fly this thing. We can fly it. So now with Studio TST, we're in like World War One biplanes. Like, okay, we got it. We got some guns. We can go fast. I want this to be Elon Musk in 5 years. I literally, I want to, having been in Hollywood and having pitched movies to DreamWorks, and I know how their budgets work and how the money is spent and how Disney does it and all that stuff, and it's completely insane. And in my opinion, it's all a money laundering scheme. It I don't want to get in any trouble here.
I was like,
That's
oh
just
no, I'd like to
that's
stay in the air. Thank you very much.
that's just my opinion. But like, so anyway, I would like to be giving the green light to multi-million dollar projects, whether it's series, whether it's cartoons, whether it's feature films with big special effects. As the software price has come down and the cost of special effects has come down quite a bit, it's not unreasonable to go, I would love it if I was the old guy who gave the green light to the next Star Wars, to the
Yeah.
next Lord of the Rings. That's where I want to be.
So you're really looking for creatives who come with
Yes,
new stuff, who may not have a platform to put their stuff on to get the exposure, and
yes,
exposing the people who are your subscribers to this new beautiful content that they normally would not otherwise have seen, because the studios have so many rules and they're creating only allowing only certain conversations to happen, as opposed to allowing this creative methodology to go through, right? So
yes.
you're looking for creatives, you're looking for songwriters, you're looking for movie producers, you're looking for videographers who have really cool stuff, you're looking for just cool, fun stuff, you're looking for new comedians who are
Yes,
stand or seasoned comedians who are
all
anybody.
of the above. All
Okay.
the above.
All right. That's for
The
content so that they have a place to go. And
yes.
then it enhances for the subscriber to see and have access to all this beautiful material they would not otherwise find.
It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is a snowball of goodness that we just now started pushing. And I can see the future as clearly as the hand in front of my face. But yes, what happens is you'll have a wonderful piece of content that you've created. And then you go to Netflix and they go, no, that doesn't feature a one-legged African American lesbian, so we can't put it on Amazon. Who everybody will just you. So now you've spent this money, you made this project, and you have nowhere to show it. Bring it to Studio TST.
Yeah.
Bring it to Studio TST, and then I want to help those. Like George Lucas did other movies before Star Wars. James Cameron did a bunch of movies before, Titanic and Avatar. Give these people a place to start. Okay, so now you've begun. So yeah, you don't have a giant budget. You have to make more with less. However, you're not going to get screwed over and just be left holding the bag.
Yeah.
There's so many creators out there that have nowhere to go. And you could make the argument like, oh, I'll just put it on YouTube. YouTube will censor you. And then you go, oh, well, I'll just put it on Rumble. Okay, well, you're not going to have the focus. So we have so many subscribers, and then we go, here's our new bright shiny thing, check this out, and then boom, it just makes everything happen faster, which is good for everybody.
Absolutely.
There's no losers in this.
And
It's
there's so
wild.
many great creative people. I was in the music industry as a singer and everything. And some of the musicians that I got to work with were out of this world. They were extraordinary, better than some of the ones in the popular bands. They
Yes,
were much more talented, but they didn't have that same trajectory to allow them to get that exposure to so that the right people see them. People in leadership roles, some people, I should say some people, let me qualify that. Some people in leadership roles want to keep everybody smaller than them. So they don't take the really, really talented people because they don't want to elevate them above themselves. So
right.
it's an insecurity thing. And that to me is always that person is not secure, because as far as I'm concerned, if you're brilliant, I want to elevate you. I just want to be smart enough to recognize it and be part of that elevation, right? So
Yeah.
that's a different way of looking at it because I know that I'm not going to be standing up and doing stand-up comedy. Dear God, no, don't make me. And I'm not going to be doing the big guitar riff either. That's not what I do, but I do see talent. And when I see talent, I know talent, and I want to elevate that talent beyond. Similar to what you're doing, giving these young kids and experienced people. It's like Joe Coy. Joe Coy had to produce his own shows over and over and over again. Then finally, he was picked up by Netflix and all these other companies. But I was just
Well,
amazed
I
how many
think
times
he,
he got refused.
yeah. Well, he also should thank Chelsea Handler every day. Like, I think Joe Coy might be rewriting history a little bit, but Chelsea Handler helped him out a lot. She had a show on E back in the day. This is how old I am. There was
Yeah,
a network. I think it's still around, E Entertainment
it
Television.
is. It is.
Chelsea Handler had this talk show on it.
Yeah.
And friends of mine would do that show and they would go, this thing is insanely popular. Like I had buddies who had done like television shows and movies. They got recognized more for being on Chelsea Handler's show than they ever did
Oh my
for
gosh.
being on NBC. Yeah, so Joe Coy should get up every morning and ask Chelsea Handler if her butthole's been kissed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chelsea. All right, let's get down to brass tactics. Studio
Yes,
TST. Give me 5 reasons why I should become a subscriber. 5 reasons. And they better be
five
good.
reasons. One, you want to be entertained. Two, you want to be part of the solution. Three, you want to be able to say to your friends, ha ha, I told you so. I saw that first at Studio
TST.
TST. And three, don't give money to people who hate you. You're subscribing to Amazon and Netflix and Disney and all these other. They are actively trying to undermine everything that you stand for in your belief system.
Circle
So
star of power of the purchase. And the fifth reason?
the fifth reason is I'm an awesome dude.
Well, we all know that. You're a better reason, my buddy. No, you are an awesome dude, and the stuff that you're bringing there is just amazing, and it's priced at a really reasonable price where you get all this entertainment and access, so that you don't have to be worried about being canceled or anything like that, and you get to
Yeah.
see stuff that you like. I mean, I really like the old shows. I watch certain shows that are from the past that are amazing. Where can people see you? Where are you going to be next? I know you're all over the country, so
Well, they can always get caught up at TheLoftusParty.com. I
yes.
will be in Chicago doing stand up. I want to say the 15th and the 16th of August. Then on August 29th, I'm at the Redneck Riviera. We're taping another episode of that show tonight. And then in the beginning of September, I'm doing a theater show September 9th. People should go to TheLoftusParty.com and get caught up on the tour
Get all
dates.
that information, but also come and find, how do they sign up for Studio TST? Where's that link? We're going to drop it. You're going to send that
Yeah,
to.
just go to StudioTST.com. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And you get every episode of that show tonight. You get classic movies, you get brand new movies, you get independent movies. You get hours and hours of Joe Rogan, Jim Brewer, Kathleen Madigan, Drew Carey, all
Oh,
of these wonderful stand-up sets. Yeah, we have so many, and then we're putting out more content every week. It's crazy.
so studiotst.com, and they can sign up and become part of this community. It really is a community because there are other people of like mind. So I love it.
Yeah,
Last,
it's us against the big studio. This is the most rock and roll alternative punk rock. We're just gonna start our own thing. We're going up against the man. Boom. We're the Clash.
you're the Clash. Yes, you are. Oh my gosh, you are absolutely amazing. Congratulations for the studio. Congratulations for just having the thought to do it and putting your money behind your mouth and taking action. That makes me happy as a take action success coach. You took action, you got it in your head, and you just go, and you're very unstoppable, Michael. I'm finding that you think of something and you just go for it. And I love that. Where did you get that real quick, 30 seconds? Where did you get that unstoppableness?
I think I got it from my parents, both, very Irish, very you're not the boss of me. We're gonna go and you're gonna have a good time.
I love that. And so relate. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you guys for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lori Anne. I hope we've earned the privilege of your time. Thank you again, Michael, for being on the show.
Mwah.
Looking forward to seeing you all next Saturday at 3 p.m. on JVC Broadcasting and iHeartRadio. And we also can be found on all major platforms and would be so grateful if you please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I am Coach Lori Anne Casdia, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears. Let your life be filled with joy. See you next time. Thank you for showing up for the show. Take care.